Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn, and welcome to the Soulful Voices Circle Daily Oracle Card Reading on Patreon. Today is Friday, March 31st, 2023. I may actually share this particular recording with my YouTube community as well. Um, this has been a very interesting week, not necessarily a happy week, but an interesting one nonetheless. And why do I say that? The energies have been very powerful, and they've been coming quickly. We started off the week with the unfortunate school shooting in Nashville. And we are ending at least the work week, right? The Monday through Friday calendar week that many of us follow as far as, you know, going to work and so on, and then we have our 5 days and then we have our weekend off. And as we go into the weekend, we are now hearing about the indictment of Donald Trump and what that is going, the energies that are ramping up around that, and especially as we go into next week when he goes into his arraignment. Now, again, I commented at the beginning of the week that we sometimes don't think that these things affect us, right? If we ignore them, if we don't listen to the news, we can't be bothered by them. Or we hear it on the news and we think it's separate and outside of us. But the bottom line is that we are all affected. Each and every one of us is affected by the energies that are out there, the horrible acts that are taking place, by the dishonesty within the leaders that have been elected, um, and just the overall upheaval or apparent upheaval that is taking place in our society. And there is a need to try to understand the purpose of that upheaval. And um, as far as this community goes, I believe that we are a community of awakening souls or awakened souls. We are people who want to lift the veil to truth. We do not want to look at things through, a tinted glass. We want to be able to see things clearly and to understand exactly what is happening in this world and to understand how the things that are happening are affecting us as a humanity. So, the oracle card deck that we're going to continue using today is the Priestess of Light oracle card deck, okay? And we're going to ask this oracle to give us an understanding of what it is that we can do for ourselves at this time in order for us to align with our highest good as we go through these continuing upheavals that our society is experiencing at this time. And that's just those two things I mentioned are just two things. There's so much more going on in the world. As I mentioned the other day, it's those things that are also outside of our control, right? While we can regulate how we treat our planet, we cannot regulate when a tornado comes through, right? And how so many people, towns were destroyed, people were killed in the tornadoes earlier this week. So there's a lot of heaviness in our world, but there's also a lot of light. And it is important for us when we get wrapped up in the news cycles and the information that we're getting. And it's important for us even outside of that. But when we are so involved, heavily invested and involved in the drama that may be replaying over and over in our lives, how important it is for us to anchor in light into our lives and to try to find those things that are of pure love, are of pure joy, that help lift our soul, lift our spirit, open our hearts up. because there is plenty of that in the world. The issue is that we don't always see it, and we are contained in so many ways in our own lives, right? Of course, there are people who are out there in the world and who work with all different, you know, people and experience all different things. But then there are others who do not necessarily go out into the world a lot and their life is more limited. Perhaps they can't afford to travel or their job doesn't allow them to interact with a lot of people. Whatever the case may be, we are all a part of the circumstances in which we live. And it is important, no matter what that circumstance is, to try to find the goodness in people, to try to find the light in the world, and to really, really find the light within yourself, the light that helps to heal you, the light that helps to keep you in balance when all of this turmoil, all of this upheaval is happening, either in your personal life or out in the world. So I just wanted to talk about that for a few minutes, and um, I want to take maybe another minute or two extra today to focus in on our breathing. So what we're going to do is we're going to really take those breaths in and we're going to push out. And as you inhale, I want you to think about light coming in, and as you exhale, I want you to think about releasing and surrendering heavy energies, dense energies, negative energies, toxic energies, thoughts that no longer serve you, and actually envision them blowing out of you. And then you take the light in again, and then you push the darkness out. So we're going to focus in on that. And we're going to focus in on our heart centers. And we're going to focus in on our third eye area right here. Okay, and we're going to try our best to come into a state of complete relaxation. Okay, so close your eyes. Just stay here for a moment. Just listen to the sound of your breath just at a normal beat. Okay, so let's take our first inhalation of light. Hold it and blow out. Inhale light again. And exhale. Let's inhale again. And exhale. Feel your body relaxing. Feel your heart beating a little bit slower now, just releasing. Take another deep inhale. And exhale. At this time, I ask the divine light to surround us and enfold us in its golden light of protection, preventing any lower or negative energies from entering into or influencing this reading in any way, shape, or form. And I ask our angels and guides and the spirit of the Priestess of Light Oracle card deck to come forward at this time to provide us with the wisdom and the guidance that we need to know, hear, and understand at this time in our spiritual evolution. And I thank them for our protection and the guidance that we receive. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Just stay here for a moment. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Notice how safe you feel right now. How much more relaxed you feel at this time. This time is for you to release, replenish, to bring more light into your life. Take another deep breath in. And release. On this next inhale, really feel the light come into you. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Okay, I am going to open my eyes and continue the recording. I hope that my video didn't go dark. I noticed when I opened my eyes that the screen was dark, so I hope it recorded. It should have at least recorded my voice if it didn't visually record me. Okay, so let's see what the Priestess of Light card deck has to say to us. So this reading is going to be for today, Friday, March 31st, and for April 1st and April 2nd. Can't believe we're already in the month of April. Okay. My son turns 21 this month, which is really, really hard to believe. Okay, here we go. This is the card for, let's see. What does Spirit want us to know and understand so that we may work through these energies at this time? Okay, so we received this card at the beginning of the week. It is Soul Radiance, Phoenix Rising. And this is, again, a reminder about allowing your soul to come forward. So in the context of what it is that we are experiencing right now in our world and in our lives, it is ever more important to bring forth your soul and allow the light of your soul to radiate, right? Allow it to come forward in its truth, in its true essence, because it is needed at this time. You are in a very powerful time in your life, whether or not you know that. And it is tapping into this light within and helping it to emerge, like the phoenix rising, helping it to emerge, to bring that light and that love into the world. So we do have a full recording on this card from earlier this week, so you can go and re-listen to that recording because it's coming up again. But I will reread from the book right now. So it is card number 53. It's amazing how the themes repeat themselves in the week. This radiant priestess calls out that your ultimate victory is at hand. Her arms and wings are raised in salutation. A new beginning is arriving after a long and perhaps difficult time. So when we talk about the things that are happening in the world, we are seeking out that change and the new beginning. We are trying to change all of the upheaval that is taking place at this time. Okay. We want to shift that energy into light. Her arms and wings are raised in salutation. A new beginning is arriving after a long and perhaps difficult time. In fact, you are about to take the flight of the phoenix and rise above the ashes of some old unwanted fire. This fire may have taken different forms: work or finances, relationships, or health issues, to varying degrees. It may have seemed like an interminable dry spell, a lengthy period of waiting for change or longing for a resolution. Or the fire may have been much more severe, involving loss, anxiety, and deep grief. There may even have been times when you felt the difficulties would consume you. This card is telling you that those times are coming to an end. A newfound sense of freedom arises. But don't forget, the source of real power and freedom is always within you. When you find yourself living through a dark night of the soul, remember the presence and truth of your spirit. Your soul's resonant frequency vibrates with divine light that no darkness can diminish. So today we were breathing in that divine light and exhaling out the darkness. It is only when you obsess about your personal problems that you feel surrounded by loss and limitation. And I touched on that even before we pulled the cards, about how we get caught up in the drama of our lives and how important it is to bring more light into our life. Real resolutions arise when you open up the power of your eternal truth and perspective. So if you're still trying to overcome a difficult situation, or something has caused self-doubt or a loss of courage, pause to meditate on your own unerring, unending light. For it is this divine frequency, your own soul's radiance, that will finally lift you above the old limitations into free, unfettered flight. Affirmation: I feel the power of my soul radiating outward in beautiful, resonant vibrations. Success is coming to me now. So, this is a card that gives us the piece of advice of when things get rough, when society is in upheaval, um, when things that are out of the ordinary are coming up in our lives, how important it is for us to tap into and ground ourselves in our own light. Okay? And it is a card of optimism. It lets us know that we have the ability to move past all of these things that are coming up for us right now, and to help heal the trauma that this stuff may be causing in our lives. So let's see what the card is for tomorrow, Saturday, April 1st, 2023. This is the card. It says Divine Mother, nurturing compassion and grace. So when we receive the Divine Mother card, I always look at this card as a card that is beckoning us to nurture ourselves, to nurture and take care of ourselves, to not be judgmental of who we are. How do we heal ourselves? We do not sit in self-judgment. We sit in self-love. And the Divine Mother represents that light of our own self-acceptance and self-love and compassion for ourselves. And it also is about having compassion for other people. But it is while it's easier sometimes to have compassion for somebody else versus yourself, it is more beneficial for those whom you are sharing compassion with, to for you yourself to be compassionate and loving to yourself. Because the more love you have for yourself, the more compassion, the more self-worth, the lack of self-judgment, the more that exists, the better able you are to help nurture other people, right? So it's like you cannot give what you don't have inside of you. It is hard, you will be more limited in how much you can give, and you will drain your own spirit if you don't replenish your own well, if you do not continue to feed love to yourself, if you block off love from other people coming to you. So you want to allow compassion to flow in both directions, okay? And it also talks about grace. So to me, grace is a state of being. It is not just grace that, when we think of grace, that, that you think of the grace of God, that God, blessed you and gave you grace and gave you a second chance. It's not just that. It is a state of being. And it is a state, in my mind, of self acceptance and love, and a state where you can really ground into light and share that light with the world. So let me see what the book has to say about the Divine Mother. And for those people who are in particular Catholic, who may really cherish the Divine Mother, this card may have a whole host of other meanings for you. Okay, so here we go. Number 37 in the deck. Surrounded by the golden light of purity and creative power, this beautiful symbol of eternal maternity brings the energy of care and compassion to your life. Whatever gender we identify as, there is a divine mother in each of us. It lives in the eternal light that feeds us and nurtures the world through us. It lives in our choices, our tenderness, and in our loving energy. First, this card reminds you to prioritize your own self-care. In fact, it's time to become your own loving mother. It's time, if you've been missing something related to your own needs or preferences, muster up the courage to nurture and prioritize yourself. It's never dishonoring to others when you truly honor yourself. There may be someone who needs some care and compassion from you as well. Open your heart to the opportunity, but remember to strike a balance between the energy you give others and the energy you give yourself, which is what I was saying. You want the energy to flow in both directions. Your love and care will go much further if you stop to fill your own reservoir along the way, which is exactly what I was saying. On a purely practical level, this card can also herald parenthood for you or someone close to you. The Divine Mother breathes the vital spark into family and fertile productivity into any important creative endeavor you may be conceiving. Call on her gracious assistance and let your creative juices flow. And the affirmation: I choose to increase the tender feelings in my life. As I bring love and care to myself, I expand the energy of love in the world. So this card is not just the nurturing aspect, but at the end it talks about the creative aspect and birthing things into the world. And if that is the piece of the reading that resonates with you, then you should know that now is a good time to really allow your creative juices to flow, to nurture them, to cherish them, to show non-judgment and grace to the thoughts and ideas that you are getting, and allow the ideas to come into fruition. Okay, so that is the card for Divine Mother. That is the card for Saturday, rather, the Divine Mother. So let's see the card for Sunday, April 2nd. And really, the energy that is coming up for me is that the grounding of light is very important over the next few days. The grounding of light, bringing in light, shedding light on things that need to be revealed, but really bringing in the light of the divine into your life, bringing forth your soul, allowing your true authenticity to radiate into the world because it is needed at this time. Okay, so let's see what Sunday's card is. Oh, we got two cards stuck together. Let me figure which one. The card. Building your world. Creation, expansion, and networking. Building your world. So here we go. The Divine Mother, creation, expansion, networking, building your world. So we talked about the things that happened throughout this week, the shooting, the indictment of the former president, um, and how long people have been waiting for justice to come into um, that whole scenario, and how the impact that it's going to have as we go through at least the next week and so on. And there'll be a lot, obviously, that comes up through that. We are in the process of needing to heal this world. We are in the process of needing to bring change, reform into this world. And the receipt of Building Your World card is about understanding that we have the ability to make the change, and that as the energies begin to shift into next week, we're going to start to come upon some energy of change where we are expanding beyond what we have known thus far, that we are becoming a more open society to expanding beyond what we have known all of our lives. People are ready for new innovations. Yesterday's card was innovation. People are ready for new ideas to come forward, change to happen within our governments, change to happen within our society. Okay? We are ready for this. And so now is a time to think about what contribution you can make to help that shift take place. So we have the ability to build your world, and we all can play a part. No part is too small. Every piece of energy that is put toward renewing and shifting the energy of this planet and helping us to become a more loving, compassionate humanity, a more caring humanity, a less violent humanity, right? A humanity that cares about what happens in the world, to the planet, to the people who inhabit the world, a more selfless humanity. No part is too small. You have a role no matter who you are. When you just believe that you have the power to help change it just a little bit, every little bit helps. So that is the energy for this week. And it is Soul Radiance, Divine Mother, and Building Your World. So these are the weekend cards. I hope you will take some time to reflect. Change, I'm not expecting change overnight or anything, but this is all, the idea of these readings is to bring you the energy that's coming up, and then to take the reading and to see how it fits into your own world, your own life. What piece do you have in the overall tapestry of the world, of our existence here at this time? So I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you back here next week. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.